Remnant 2 is best described running around the whole map, inspecting every inch of dust, only ever to come across rings. Where's the weapons? Where's the armor? You only get rings, making Uncle Rico that still wears his high school ring rather jealous. If I have to go through a whole dungeon fighting meatballs to a boss who will turn me into a meatball, barely coming out alive, scouring every inch of this barren land only to find a ring that I'll never use, I'm going to lose it. Remnant 2 is similar to Elden Ring, but with guns, and you get musical puzzles, with a few differences, like you get to select the difficulty and how fast you want to die. Hardest being Nightmare before beating the game. It's telling you not to use this as a starting point. So I went ahead and used it as my starting point, as I beat Elden Ring and Dark Souls games multiple times. Pick a class or I guess archetype. If you're not picking the handler for the dog, then you don't appreciate dog meat from Fallout 3. I mean, who doesn't want a dog that can morph into the environment? That's pretty neat. Luckily, it doesn't have any side effects of being in the worst area to mankind. No rude, purple sand and poison smoke where the game will quickly let you know you shouldn't be there. Or hearing the dinner bell where mass amounts of mobs and elite will spawn out of nowhere to tear you to pieces. Don't get me wrong, this game is fun for a few hours and exploring and dying. The guns, when you do get them, look and feel amazing. Like the merciless that looks sick and feels good, shooting blood bolts to anyone that dares look at me. Or use the Nightfall, the best gun in the game. Use it one time, the game is beaten by default. The bosses are aesthetically pleasing to Venom, who can go suck it, the Night Reaver, who can really go suck it, all the way to this GameCube knockoff, who can undoubtedly go suck. Well, this boss is kinda nice. Get the fuck off of me! Remnant 2 is a randomized campaign. Depending on your luck and how much you pissed off Gunfire Games, your starting world and bosses could be a fun time, or you're going to have a horrible time. What this game doesn't tell you, that has more secrets than Area 51 and the Illuminati combined. A failure of an RPG game. I don't feel connected to my character. The only time I do is when he's not talking, but oh boy, when he starts flapping his gums.
I killed something, and it kind of fell out.
Interesting.
I can't help feel like I'm playing Shenmue, but in Shenmue, I'm having fun when there's voice dialogue.
Years ago, I was Chinese.
In Remnant 2, just please stop talking. If you want a new weapon, armor, or even new class, you're going to have to install more RAM in your PC. Just to keep up with all the guides you're pounding into your browser. There is no way you can figure out how to find the engineer archetype without a guide. Narude, aka Barney the dinosaur's asshole, has the easiest secret class you can achieve. Do I tell you how to get it? Or do I let your Google RAM suffer? In Narude, travel to either Timeless Horizon or Eon Vault. If you don't have either one, well, your journey ends here. Traverse the outskirts of the death smoke, try not to throw up everywhere. Puke and rally, my friend. Find these landmarks randomly in the world. Enter this shit and hop the ledge and go down and pick up the engineer class. Congrats, you got it. Oh, if you've beaten the final boss in Barney's butt and haven't gotten the class, well, that's not good, as the world will be engulfed by a black hole after 24 hours in real time, or else you're just stuck summoning some meatballs. Speaking of not good, playing this on the hardest difficulty. I know I said it was Nightmare before you get to Apocalypse is the hardest, but it's actually co-op mode. Playing this game with friends is the worst thing you can do to yourself, right up there with Monopoly. Enemy health and damage scales with the number of players in session. Makes sense. Except it doesn't with the damage scaling. When you're solo, you will survive a few hits depending on the attack. If you're with your friends and you get hit by anything, you're dead. If you ain't dodging, you ain't surviving. With the amount of secrets that are hidden away, you technically could beat the whole game without ever finding a new weapon or armor. Sticking with the starting gear, you could just level it up and call it a day. But should you level up your gear to get stronger? No, only if you want the game to get harder. Gunfire Games has a unique approach to make sure your time is well spent getting kicked in the balls. For those unaware, the game scales enemy health and damage up based on your power level, which is based on the 2 highest archetypes and your highest upgraded weapons. Upgrading a weapon also strengthens enemies to the point that no weapon could ever get a meaningful increase in upgrades. So every time you upgrade your weapon, your weakest weapons get even weaker. What the fuck? Upgrading weapons requires your left leg in to beat the game before you even think about upgrading a new gun, as it takes a power point to find a new weapon. No point in wearing armor in co-op, so get good at dodging. To think you're getting rewarded by upgrading weapons, but actually you're making it harder on yourself. There is one secret that takes the cake, a secret that tops all secrets, the most cultivated secret in the game, making your local CI agent question everything, and that is getting the Archon archetype class. That's right, I'm going to tell... Wait, I need to make sure I go to a different room so Gunfire Games doesn't hear me. First is to make sure your date on your computer is March 20th, 2006. Log into Oblivion and stop the assassination of the Emperor. Quickly log into Remnant 2 or already have it open and pet the dog. Find this door and equip specific items in each slot. Record the audio of you pounding on this door. Make a beat of it in Ableton Live. Play the beat of you killing the cancer. Very important, and it has to be on Tuesdays and it can only be 66 degrees outside. Oh god, they found me. Having your Google browser going to maximum drive to find the answer to this fucking hard puzzle. I can't figure it out. Beat the game to unlock the Explorer class and getting it to level 10, as well as getting the Invader class and having that at level 5. But before that, you need to delete System 32. All the while stopping Barney's asshole going supernova. Learn Python to code in the rare items like the Sports Scattergun, the Cube Cup, the Labyrinth. Oh god, get off of me! Be sure you get the Void Heart, Letters Amblin, the Amber Boost Gold. You also need the soul of a black cat and the crap you that.